Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 136. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 27th of August, 2014, beginning as usual with my first five, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, Saga number 22, The Family is Tested. Series writer Brian K. Vaughan was asked about his inspiration for Saga during a Q&A session at San Diego Comic-Con.
I knocked up my wife. So we made babies, and it was really terrifying. And whenever I'm frightened and confused by something, I try to write about it. But I've said this before, but I know nothing is more boring than hearing people talk about their children. So I like to talk about them, all right? So I wanted to talk about the experience of fatherhood and childhood and all that, but I wanted to sort of smuggle it inside of something interesting. So I think all the characters are in some way based on my family or my idiot friends or the TV-headed robot that lives in my basement. Lion Cat? Yeah, I mean, probably a lot of Hamburger K-Bon, my beloved dachshund, sole heir to the K-Bon empire. He's a dog, but he's kind of more cat than dog. So I have no imagination. I just steal from my empire, change the color and species. It's a comic book. Thanks.
At number 2, we've got All New X-Men number 31, Iceman Unleashed. Young Bobby Drake takes to the offensive. For someone who said she doesn't find him particularly pleasant to be around, Laura seems to have taken an odd interest in Warren. Series writer Brian Michael Bendis spoke about Laura and Warren's relationship, quote, "I like, and I'm using very broad generalizations here, when the gothiest girl in high school and the nicest guy on the football team find each other. I've personally seen this in real life. There's someone who's literally dripping with miserableness, and this guy who has the nice haircut and the jacket finds himself completely attracted to that other kind of energy. Angel, and I'm talking about the teen incarnation, is not all niceness and light, but there is a lightness to him. He's fresh-faced and young, and he has this light energy about him, and she does not. I like them finding each other attractive, and I think that neither one of them necessarily want them to be what they are. There's a sense of maybe you'll help pull me out of my misery, or maybe you'll help me find my edge. Plus, sometimes you just can't help who you're attracted to. It's like, I never thought in a million years I'd be attracted to a woman who has claws shooting out of her foot, but I am." Close quote. At number 3, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy number 18. You want to know how Star-Lord got back from the Cancerverse, and didn't Nova go in there with him? Guess he's not into the whole no man left behind thing. Series writer Brian Michael Bendis shared this about the story, quote, "I've been holding on to this story since before I wrote my first issue because even if I'm not showing the readers, I have to know how these characters got from the end of the Thanos imperative to where I'm bringing them. I knew that I needed to tell that story, and I knew that the time to tell it would reveal itself. I also knew that we were coming at this series like it's a brand new chapter in these characters' lives. So to start with a continuity-heavy story would have been a disservice to DNA, and a disservice to the new audience that could have potentially been there and was there. So to immediately make those new readers feel punished for not having read something was a disservice to everybody. I thought we have a secret in this book that these guys are alive, and a lot of people will want to know why these guys are alive. I also thought it was fascinating that Peter Quill, who does wear his heart on his sleeve and values his friendships, is keeping these secrets to himself. I said, I'll know when it's time to reveal that. Cut to 6 months later. Original sin? Got it. Done. We have one. We don't even have to give it a second thought because Peter has been carrying this around with him." Close quote. At number 4, we've got Superman number 34. Jeff Johns and John Romita Jr. continue their epic Superman run with the Men of Tomorrow, Chapter 3. Introducing the bizarre villain known as the Machinist, the man behind the recent technological attacks on Metropolis. But what is his strange connection to Superman? Where is he from? And what does the Machinist want with the Daily Planet? Plus, the mystery behind the disaster at the Ulysses Research Lab sends Clark on an investigation that will reveal a dark secret from his past. Series writer Jeff Johns emphasized the importance of Ulysses. Quote, his story is going to continue, and there are a lot of stories that will build off of it too. I don't want to spoil everything, but we're spending a lot of time on the character because the character is very important to us and Superman and the world, and the story we're telling. I can't really say much more than that, close quote. Series artist John Romita Jr. added, quote, to say that the character is going to be around forever would take away from the storyline. To say that he's a limited character would ruin the storyline. There's more to it. It's a nice gray area, close quote. And at number 5, we've got Wolverine and the X-Men number 8. What's it like to be a rich, famous teenage mutant? Just ask Quentin Quire. Logan and Storm go on a long overdue date, and when the headmasters are away, villains come out to play. Series writer Jason Latour mentioned this issue specifically when discussing Storm and Wolverine's relationship. Quote, well, it's bittersweet. I really hope my fondness for this relationship shines through because I love writing them together. It seems very unfortunate that they seem to have finally truly fallen into each other's arms, now at a point when it just might be too late to see it bloom into what it could be. But even if Logan's death weren't around the corner, I think it would be pretty clear that the responsibilities they've taken on are more than a bit prohibitive of their own desires. So the real question we'll be dealing with is, can they reconcile their romance with those responsibilities? Why not? With that in mind, issue 8 will look to address those issues as Logan and Aurora go on a long overdue date, one that, thanks to the strange properties of the world, will see them spend a lot of time together. We may know what's coming to some degree with these two, but trust me, there's a lot of texture to be added and lots of seeds to be planted yet, close quote. Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got Cyclops number 4. Scott and Corsair are stranded on an alien planet with no hope of rescue. The indigenous species are none too happy with them. Not that they're very happy with each other either. What bargains will need to be struck to get either or both of them out alive? At number 7, we've got Batman Eternal number 21. After being injected with fear toxin, Alfred is dragged away to Arkham Asylum. At number 8, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 1.4. Witness another secret chapter from the first days of Spider-Man. What started off as fun and games for new villain clash turns deadly serious. And if that weren't enough, a classic Spider-Man villain joins in on the fun. At number 9, we've got Silver Surfer number 5. The demon, Shuma Gorath, is ready to cast the Earth into eternal chaos. The problem is, if the Silver Surfer, the Hulk, and Doctor Strange can find a way to stop him, it's Dawn Greenwood who will have to pay the price with her life. And at number 10, we've got XO Manowar number 28. From across the void, the true history of the armor hunters revealed. In the far reaches of deep space, an elite and hardened corps of soldiers has protected the galaxy by eliminating one singular threat, a plague of XO Manowar armors that has driven the universe to the brink of madness. Now, for the first time, Robert Venditti opens the vault to reveal the stunning secret of the armor hunters, who they are, where they came from, and why a terrible secret from their past now threatens the present. For the best of the rest from DC Comics, we've got Bodies number 2 of 8, with 4 bodies lying on mortuary slabs. Speculation mounts from a century ago to the present day as to the identity of the victim. In wartime Britain and a forgetful future, however, living strangers are causing confusion. A hooker's kiss, a fine young cannibal, a fascist mob, and a suspect who literally falls from the heavens will send muddy ripples through history. The time-traveling serial killer story heats up. Next, we've got Dead Boy Detectives number 8. After Charles and Crystal pledged to help one another in their investigations, no matter the cost, the duo set out to prove that Charles' father did not murder Charles' mother, and to find out whether Crystal really can bring her lost friend Rosa back from beyond the grave. Meanwhile, Edwin might discover the key to these mysteries if he can break Tibetan monk Lob Sang out of the trance so deep he stopped breathing in 2012. And we've got Secret Origins number 5. The latest explosive origins from DC Comics The New 52 includes Cyborg by Marv Wolfman and Andre Colo, Red Hood by Scott Lobdell and Paulo Sequeira, and Mara by Jeff Parker and the art team of Alvaro Martinez and Raul Fernandez. From Marvel Comics, we've got All New Ultimates number 7. Spider-Man, Black Widow, Kitty, Cloak, and Dagger barely hold back the carnage of vengeful sewer leaders Agent Croc and Vermin. The Bengal joins the police squad just in time to regulate Scourge's murderous aftermath. Will the hunt for Crossbones reveal a deeper, darker secret behind the city's rampant crime wave? Next, we have Avengers 34, Original Sin tie-in, The Problem of Avengers. The first Avenger meets the last Avenger, and the Avengers' world crumbles. You won't believe what comes next. We've also got Avengers Undercover number 9, The Avengers and S.H.I.E.L.D. Attack in Gone Native Part 3 of 4. Justice comes to Baron Zemo's supervillain city. When the heroes arrive, whose side will our murder world survivors pick? Next, we have Inhuman number 4. Rising star Ryan Stegman joins the Inhuman team. Medusa and the Inhumans get a visitor to New Attilan, Thor. Who is Reader, and is he friend or foe? And we've got Uncanny Avengers number 23, Uncanny Avengers Reunited. The threat of Kang is over, but what are the repercussions? Meet the new faces of the Marvel Universe. From Dark Horse Comics, we've got the massive number 26, What Remains of Civilization is being obliterated by a series of cataclysmic events. The crew of the Capitol struggle to find a safe haven in the destructive chaos, but to no avail. Mary's return to Ninth Wave comes with answers, but are they what Cal and the others want to hear? From Image Comics, we've got Genius number 4 and 5 of 5. Genius issues 1 through 5 weekly throughout August. The winner of Top Cow's pilot season makes its triumphant return to print. What if the greatest military mind of our generation was born to people who are already supremely conditioned to wage war, who know nothing but violence since birth, and must continually adapt to new predators in order to survive? What if the second coming of Alexander the Great, of Genghis Khan, of Napoleon, of Patton? What if it was a teenage girl from South Central LA named Destiny? And what if she decides to secede 3 blocks of the hood from the Union? Who's going to take it back from her and her army of gangbangers? Who can? From writers Mark Bernardin and Adam Freeman and rising star artist Afua Richardson comes a harrowing, action-packed tale of the city that declares war on a brilliant young woman pushed to the edge. And we've got Wayward number 1, Buffy the Vampire Slayer for a New Generation. Rory Lane is trying to start a new life when she reunites with her mother in Japan, but ancient creatures lurking in the shadow of Tokyo sense something hidden deep within her, threatening everything she holds dear. Can Rory unlock the secrets of her power before it's too late? Jim Zub, Steve Cummings, and John Rausch team up to create an all-new Image supernatural spectacle that combines the camaraderie and emotion of Buffy the Vampire Slayer with the action and mystery of Hellboy. Don't miss it. And from Valiant Entertainment, we've got Rye number 4. The most daring comic book launch of the year unleashes a cascade of shocking revelations as Rye rockets towards its second arc. In 4001 AD, as the nation of Japan soars above the earth, Rye unravels the mystery of the first murder in 1,000 years and discovers his own profound connection to the crime. Everything Rye knows about his existence, about his country, about the benevolent father he serves is about to be thrown out of orbit. Do not miss this masterpiece in the making. Matt Kent and Clayton Crane's Rye. Out in trades this week, we've got Jessica Jones, The Pulse, the complete collection trade paperback. Jessica Jones, breakout star of Brian Michael Bendis' hit series Alias, is back, and the ex-Avenger turned private investigator is starting a new chapter in her life, working for the Daily Bugle's new superhero section, The Pulse. Jessica's first assignment, to uncover the identity of a former Bugle reporter's superpowered murderer. How is Norman Osborn involved? And how will Jessica's shocking discovery affect the entire Marvel Universe? And when Nick Fury's Secret War spills over into the streets, it hits Jessica and Luke Cage right where they live. And with their lives in shambles, Jessica decides to fight back. Finally, it's the moment you've been waiting for, the birth of Jessica and Luke's baby and their wedding day. Guest starring Spider-Man, Captain America, the New Avengers, and more. Collecting Pulse number 1 through 9 and 11 through 14 and New Avengers Annual number 1. And we've got Secret Service Kingsman hardcover, premiere edition. From the writer of Kick-Ass and the artist of Watchmen comes a collaboration decades in the making. The world's greatest secret agent is on the most exciting case of his career, but will the end of the world as we know it take a backseat to training his street punk nephew to be the next James Bond? Meanwhile, what's the link between a series of kidnapped sci-fi stars, the murder of an entire town, and a dark secret from inside Mount Everest? Under Uncle Jack's supervision, Gary's spy skills and confidence blossom, but when the duo learns what's behind the celebrity kidnappings, the knowledge comes at a price. The conspiracy begins to unravel, but who can be trusted when so many prominent figures seem to be involved? It's a must-be-seen to be believed action spectacle, collecting Secret Service number 1 through 6. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available, and I broke out all the Marvel titles this week into their own video, as well as a separate video for all of DC, and even a video with the top independent publishers, and you can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com. And we'll also have links up on the leagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can find links to everything in the About section at he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.